September is both Gynecologic and Ovarian Cancer Month, and this morning we have two very inspiring cancer survivors that are here to tell their story and, of course, raise awareness on these two alarming types of cancer. Megan Powell, endometrial cancer survivor, and Janine Smith, program specialist, Colorado Gynecologic Cancer Alliance, and also an ovarian cancer survivor, are here with more. Good morning, ladies. It's so good to have you both.
Good morning, Claudia.
It's good to see you. Well, Janine, I'll start with you because each year, 1,500 Coloradans are diagnosed with gynecologic cancer. Now, there are several types, though. What are those?
Sure. Well, you know, we often don't think about cancer below the belt. We don't want to talk about it, but
True.
It does include ovarian cancer, fallopian tube cancer, uterine endometrial cancer, cervical, which is quite common. People hear about that, but then also vulvar and vaginal cancer.
Oh, there's so many,
Yep.
right? That it's scary to think about how many those are and how to know if you're at risk for any of those. Now, why is it so important to talk about these and raise awareness?
Well, the sad thing is there are no tests for any gynecologic cancer except cervical. When women go every year for their gynecologic appointment, and we hope that they're keeping up with that, they get a pap smear. That pap smear only screens for cervical cancer. There's no test for any other gynecologic cancer. So being aware of your body and thinking about your symptoms, anything you're having like bloating, abdominal pressure or pain, feeling full when you're eating a meal, maybe urinary urgency or abnormal bleeding, those things that are persistent, any of those symptoms, just one of them, you should go to the doctor and talk to them and have those cancers ruled out with a physical exam, a transvaginal ultrasound, and also there are some blood tests that they can take to just try to figure things out.
You really need to be your own advocate and get out there and make sure you're doing all the right testing. Okay, since cervical is really the only gynecologic cancer that has a screening test, how are other cancers diagnosed?
Well, again, it's important that you're keeping up with your annual gynecologic exams because that physical exam is important. But then also mentioning any symptoms. So then they go in and maybe do a transvaginal ultrasound is very painless. It just lets them get a better look at what's going on. And then a CA-125 blood test that sort of looks at any cancer antigens that might be present in your system.
Okay, scary stuff, guys. Now, Megan, what led to your endometrial cancer diagnosis? Like, how did all that start for you?
Yes, so I was going to my yearly physical with my doctor, and I just always go in with a list of questions or things that I want to talk about with her. And at that time, I was in the middle of soccer season at Mines, and wondering why is my body going funky on me. And I had tracked my menstrual cycle over the last year, and I said to my doctor, like, hey, my cycle is wrong, like it's off, it feels weird. And she recommended getting in to see my gynecologist. And over those 4 months, we did a pap smear, we did a biopsy, we did the transvaginal ultrasound, which ultimately led to a hysteroscopy and DNC, which diagnosed my cancer.
Wow, but you look at all the steps you had to go through just to determine what you had.
Right.
And so after that happened, what was the treatment like after that?
So after my hysteroscopy, I ended up having a full hysterectomy.
Okay.
2 days after I got back from wrestling nationals. So I'm still working with my teams.
Wow.
Going through all this kind of on my own, not really letting them know what was going on. But 6 weeks of just sitting on the couch, which is really, really hard for me to do. And most women, I think, right? So.
Oh my goodness, Megan, but that's also very inspiring that, again, you were your own advocate and you took all the steps necessary to find out what was going on. And you use your own experience to help educate the student athletes you work with.
Right.
What messages do you share with them that would also be important to viewers this morning? Yeah,
so this is a message I've shared with my student athletes from kind of day one. You have to be your own advocate, whether if, your knee is hurting, you got to get treatment for it. You got to see the doctor. You got to see your athletic trainers. And so in this instance, I just said, my cycle's off, so I need to mention that to my doctors. And that can be about anything, right? You are your best advocate. You know your body, you know what's right, what's wrong.
That's exactly right. I think we all know when something's off, but it's that step you take of saying, I got to go get this checked out.
Yeah, and we have a little saying, sorry, that says, when in doubt, check it out.
When in doubt, check it out.
Right.
That is so true, and we need to keep it at the forefront of our to-do lists every single day. And Megan, what is it that you do again? Because I know you work with a lot of youth.
Yep, so I'm the head athletic trainer at Colorado School of Mines. So I primarily oversee women's soccer, wrestling, and softball programs, but I have the full responsibility of looking after our football team, our men's soccer program, swim, dive, basketball, all the things. So
that's wonderful that even that didn't stop you, but that you took the right steps and hopefully on time. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yes, thank you.
For sharing your story. And of course, Janine, we love everything you guys do year-round for raising awareness. And September is the month to get yourself checked out and learn so much more about your body and what you can do to hopefully save your life. Thank you again, the both of you, for being here. Thank you. Okay, to learn more about the Colorado Gynecologic Cancer Alliance, visit gyncancercolorado.org. You can also follow them on social media platforms. It's all up on your screen, or call them 303-506-7014.